Hello and welcome back to Derail Valley Simulator. This is once again we're right back where we left off last time. It's still the 22nd according to the game. And since I ended the game and left, all of these got reshuffled, and I mean they're all still here, they're just shuffled. But here is the one we just dropped off, and we're going to go ahead and do this. We've got plenty of time, so I'm going to go ahead and just play it as it's supposed to be played. But I was looking through the orders, and there is a lot of shunting jobs that don't require anything other than long one. I think like this job right here. Yeah, long one, but it pays 10,000. There was a couple other in here that I kind of took a little bit of a look at before I started my video, or started recording anyhow. But can't. Okay, yeah, here's the scrap metal, and that goes back to the steel mill. But that's 22,000. Only requires long one. As far as what we don't have already. Then there was another one I believe I saw. Scrap metal here also. So another one, $11,000. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, we need to progress. So at some point, I need to start getting all these licenses. So we might go ahead and do that at the end of this video, and then we'll have that for the next time we come together. These are all ammonia, diesel. They're going to require hazmat, argon. That'll require probably hazmat 2, I imagine. Nope, just hazmat 1, but fragile. Okay, so yeah, I knew it involved another license, but it's fragile, which is the next one in lines if we were doing it by order. I've got to remember buttons here. Alright, so licenses. And fragile would be under shunting, so I mean if we were doing it in order, that would be the next progression. But it's got a copay of 2,000, so I mean it's not a unreachable goal. Not necessarily anything that we just absolutely don't want to do. But for $2,000, this only pays $6,000. So I mean, it's not. It's not a blow me out of the water kind of idea. So we'll leave these two here. I'm sure they'll get mixed back into the shuffle once we walk out of the building or go on and do other stuff for a while. But let's go ahead and go over here and validate this one we've already got, because it's got 108 minutes. I don't see there being any issues with worrying about time. Because, I mean, this can't take that long. It absolutely can't. Something's really wrong if that's the case, which, I mean, it can happen. Never say never, right? Let's go back over here, and if you remember in the last video, we were still hooked up to these cars, so it should be just sitting there waiting on us, and we'll have to run these over. Oh, here's the railroad crossing. We'll have to run this over to oh okay, yeah, E81 and D7L. That's where, yeah, D7L is where we're gonna unload them. Which I knew. I mean, I kind of figured that because that's the loading track, and of course you unload on the same track. But afterwards, we'll have to find a place to drop off the empty cars. And that's what I was noticing on all them other steel mill jobs that are over there. I mean, there's a bunch of cars, and put all those cars together, unload them, get paid for those shunting jobs, and by the time we're done with all that, we ought to have the money to buy the concurrent orders license. We might go ahead and try to run those back up to the steel mill at some point. I mean, it's going to be there until we do it, so it might. Oh, I opened the door. We might work that in. I don't know. We'll just have to see, because I mean, people are going to want me to go somewhere other than just the steel mill and harbor every time. So we'll just see. I don't ever say I won't do something, because just never know. That might be the natural progression. Oh, I'm turning on the wipers. I don't want those. I want the headlights. Alright, so we'll back out of here because there's really no need to go forward and do a reversing move down the main line any more than we have to. So let's do it here. Just start from here. Okay, what did I do? All the brakes were released. I don't know why we're not moving. But just didn't give it enough throttle. That's wait a minute, why are we so hot? Oh, I didn't release the brake. Alright. Now see, if I mean, I've really got my volume turned down today because I can't handle there's a little bit of a delay on my mic, which is another reason I don't like listening to myself. Because there's a latency delay. And I haven't figured out how to adjust that to get rid of that latency delay. I've got a filter running through my mic to cut out background noise. There's a lot of static in this mic whenever it's not filtered. And I just don't think people would care to hear that. Oh, you know what? There's another brake I didn't release. Well, I'm just blowing it out of the water all over the place here. But anyhow, if I can figure out that delay, because it's hardwired, it's not through a hotspot or Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or anything like that. It's wired into my computer through a USB drive, but that filter adds a little bit of a delay, and it's just enough of a delay it just drives my mind crazy. I can't handle listening to myself. If I turn it down, and as I've said before, the rest of my volumes, you know, it turns down everything, so I don't hear the trains or anything. And that has become a little bit of a handicap for me. Sorry about that. You may have caught a little bit of a glitch there. I had to pause the game for just a second. Notice my mic wasn't quite set right, so I don't know how the first couple of minutes sounded, but anyhow, we'll back up down here, and once we get past this track, not the first one here, but the second one to our left, once we get past that, we'll go off towards the loading area, and that'll be the D7L track that we need to unload on. So let's start adding some brake. Alright, and we should be pretty well clear of it. That's another thing I like about having the headlights on, is I can tell whenever it shifts direction for me, because my lights come on in the direction that I'm facing. Now, according to our map schematic, it shows where we're at. We're right here, so we'll need to have this one set to the right so we can go off into D, because that's where our loading track will be, and it'll be the very first one on the top. So let's get back to the screen. And we'll just try to run this without stopping. So we don't need this one because that leads off into that siding right there where the, oh, there's another DE2. Oh good, I forgot about that spot. That's a spawning spot. And of course I run persistent locomotives, so I don't have a new locomotives respawn every time I start the game, or every time I leave an area they don't respawn. But the original spawn must have put one right there, and that's a normal spot, so that's good. As I'll probably end up getting the multiple unit license. Okay, what's going on here? Why? Oh, I know. I will. I forgot that we got to do the first one there. I didn't show this on the other map, but no. I'm right. I'm thinking right. That's the one we just did right there. So we need to switch this other one here that's coming up. Right there. Come on, stop. There we go. I think I might have confused even myself on that, because I knew what I was doing, I just wasn't explaining it real well, and I apologize for that. I got another issue today that's above and beyond my typical problems, and I've got a really dry mouth right now, so it's hard to talk. And so I'm focusing more on that than I am what I'm doing, and that's not working real well with my concentration. We don't have to go all the way to the loading zone. I mean, we're in the loading zone, so we don't have to go all the way down here. And any further we go is just going to end up being that much further that we have to go back. So we might as well just stop right here. And the machine is right up here on, you can't, maybe, I don't know if you can see it or not. I barely can. But I know where it's located, so I spotted it. But it should say in range to unload. Train in range, unload. So we'll... I didn't... Yeah, we're too far away to get a good eye on that. Train fully unloaded, so now we can go jump back in our engine and take a look at the order and see where these cars go now. Because once you empty them, they do have a drop-off spot. It's not like when you load them and you just leave them on the loading track. You actually have a place to go park these now once they're empty, because they'll turn into a logistics load, or they'll, depending on where you're at, they'll be turned back into a reload. But here it's going to turn into a logistics job, because there's nothing that I think these cars go back to the steel mill. But let's look at this order. And we need to figure out what's on the end of our train. So, because there's two that go at D5S, two at G7S, and then one at C1S. So let's see what's on the end of our train. This is why they give you 108 or whatever it was minutes. There's 3 drop-offs or placements. Okay, so this is 090. So 090 goes to C1S, and that's going to be out of here, go back all the way back out to the main line, and back towards where we came into harbor and town. So we're going to head back the way we came in. And we won't quite make it to the roundhouse, and we won't make it to the military area, but we will have to kind of turn off and go down another section, another lead off. Whoops. Whoops. I'm going wrong. So this is where we're at right here. So we need to go back out to here. I'm sorry, we're not there. We're right here. We're going to go back up to here, back out, and then turn down this way. And then C is going to be here, and then 1S will be over here. If you could follow that, I wouldn't have been able to see it if I was looking at it on the TV. So I don't know if anybody else could see it or not, but it should make sense here in a few seconds because we're not that far away. It's just a matter of getting over there. And I'm sure the track is going to have something on it. I haven't put anything on there myself, but depending on what all cars respond when the game originally started, there might be some cars already sitting in there. Excuse me. Alright, well, how many throttle applied? So, well, according to that I did. Oh, I turned it on with the mouse, not my controller. So my controller was in the off position, but I used the mouse. So that's another reason why I need to use the controller instead of the mouse. I can't change the direction and location of the controller whenever I'm using the mouse. The physical controller, not the in-game, but the actual physical one that's sitting right here. But here's where we, I was showing where we turn off the main. Because if we would have gone straight right here, we would have gone back out where we came in, over here. And there's the roundhouse. But this is a place where you can either turn a train or come over here and back in if you're headed out that way instead of facing this way. So this is what they call a Y in the real train world, I believe. Yeah, we better be adding some brake here because I don't know if I can get this. This first one's kind of blocking my path, so I don't know if we'll get. Nope. I better stop. Then we're gonna split the train. Yep, it sure did. Alright, so let's try this again. Yeah, that's why I don't like this remote. It's I mean, it's a good idea and all that if you're in a spot where you can do it without any anything in the way, but man, if you got something in the way, it's useless because it doesn't look around other signs. It doesn't go to the one you're looking for if there's one in the way. That's why you'll see me get out of the train a lot instead of using this little remote or radio or whatever they call it. But yeah, there's a couple cars sitting back there, but I think we got enough room after the sign to set this car out right here in front of those. Which makes me think maybe there is a possibility these are going to reload and head out somewhere else. Really hard to judge distances. I mean, it's kind of a, you know, it's pretty good 3D rendering. So I mean, it should be visible to most, but it's really hard for me to tell distances. I can't make out a bunch of things that are showing up on the screen. It's not so easy. But it does look like we passed the sign, and I hope we're not running into those cars, but it didn't look like we were that close. Okay, yeah, we weren't too close for comfort. But now if we do get another job, which we won't, because this is probably going to require a hazmat or, you know, something like that, so we won't be doing anything with those cars for a while. But whatever we do, if this doesn't come out of the way, then it'll be an obstacle. It'll have to be moved. We do take an order with all them other cars. Alright, so we have the choice here to go back out to our left and then put these cars on the end instead of put them in front of the engine instead of behind it. So let's look at our order and see where the rest of them go. And I should have looked All this walking and running, well, I'm going to lose a lot of weight on this game. So let's see what cars are next. That's what's going to matter. I don't want to do a bunch of dropping off and setting out. Okay, so G7S should be our next, and yeah, they're both right here together, good. So G7S is where we're going to head next. And we do want the cars in front of our engine to do the G7S because that would just save us time. Because the next spot will be D5S. Oh, no, we'll want the cars behind us for that stop. I mean, that just eliminates the need for a runaround track. I mean, they're open-ended, so it's not like it's a dead-end stop once you get to where these cars go. But we'll go ahead and run them forward, engine front. And we'll just hope that there's nothing on the tracks to block a runaround with a couple cars on our end. Excuse me. So what we'll need to, I did it again. I started the throttle with the mouse instead of the remote or my controller. So we'll go back down here like we did just a minute ago to go to the D track, but this time when we get to this second turnout, the first one won't matter, we'll leave it alone because we're going against it. But the second one, we want to make sure and switch it back off to the left. If I can ever get it to, there we go. And where did this say it was going? G7S. So let's look at G. 7 is going to be all the way on the outside to our right. So we'll need to leave the first one closed or open it to the main. Because as you see, whoops, wrong. We're going to come in right here, but we don't want to go off this way, so we'll leave that one alone. We'll open this one and go in to our right. And it does look like there's cars down there, so maybe we won't do it that way. We'll have to back them in. So disregard all that. We're just going to go ahead and head straight down the main line here. Which, I mean, it's not, I don't think this is really the main, but through the yard, it's the main yard. They don't give it a number, as you can see. It's just, it's 4. I mean, it's going to be 4, but it's not an outbound, inbound, or a shunt track. It's just a main track. I'm sure there's a term for it, like a ladder lead or a yard lead or something like that, but I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. Okay, we'll want to pass this turnout right here. We'll get all cars past that turnout right there. And start slowing it down. That looks like it's starting to rain. Okay, that should be clear, that point. So we'll put her back here, and there should be enough room there. If it looks like it's going to get too close, we'll get out and look. It's our goal. G-O-A-L, get out and look. My second job, whenever I was driving a truck, was for Burlington Motor Carriers, which no longer exists, but all their trucks had a GOAL on the mirror of the driver's side, reminding you to always get out and look before starting a backing move. And so I always remember that. I think we're going to have to bump these cars and might even possibly have to push them back a little. Because I don't know if there's going to be enough room to clear the turning points. Or if it's going to foul the points. Alright, let's get out and run back there and look. We're going to get a little wet, but that's okay. We'll dry off. Skin is resilient like that. Yeah, we're going to have to... Alright, we're going to have to come back quite a bit. And we're probably about a good... I don't know, I'd say about a fourth of a car. Probably about 15 feet. But check this, and yeah, we'll turn this one off or release that one. I think there's, oh my goodness, that was some lightning. Did you see that? That almost scared me. I mean, I didn't hear it, the thunder, I didn't hear it because I got my volume turned down, but I'm gonna watch this video back and it's probably gonna end up shocking me again. That was a pretty good big jolt there. Kind of makes me second guess whether or not I want to be out here running around these train cars with all that going on. Of course, that is all water over there because this is the harbor. So, and then with some more lightning, let's get out of this rain. I want to get back in that engine. I know this is just virtual, but I still don't like anything over my head. I've never cared for clouds over my head. Just something about it. Just, of course, I was born a couple days after a tornado here in my hometown, so I wasn't actually there to witness it, but there was a tornado that almost destroyed the hospital where I live, which did get destroyed back in 2011, right after my oldest daughter was born in it. She was born at that hospital, and then less than a year later it was gone. Man, there's some massive lightning going on. I better turn this on some wipers. Alright, I think that's going to be far enough. Let's get out of here and do this as quickly as we can. We don't have to hook up to these cars, but I'm not even going to worry about setting the brakes. I'm just... Oh, wait a minute, we're not even anywhere near. I guess we better set some brakes. They're rolling away. They're going to end up probably crossing them. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize that. Come on, turn. Yeah, we're going to have to go push them back in later on the other end. I can't believe that. I've never seen that happen. And yep, they did foul that other switch. Oh, good grief. And they're still rolling. We'll have to come back and fix that. I've never seen that happen. I really didn't think we'd bumped them that hard, but I guess we must have. Alright, so we wanted, I think, 211. Yeah, so at this point we'll break these apart. Ah, how'd they do that? See, it said hit F to jump in the cab. I hit F and it ended up putting me on top of it instead of inside it, so I don't know why that was. Alright, so what was the next thing? I think it said, oops, I'm sorry about that. Didn't mean to hit that button. D5S, so we should be able to clear these cars back here that I've accidentally hit, or I mean rolled out of the yard. I don't think they ended up fouling the main. We're going to get some major slippage if we're not careful. Go here in a clear window. You can't see much of anything through that part, so you got to get over here where it's wiping. Which I think is a really cool and neat thing about the realism of this game is how, I mean, you can't see through this windshield if you're not running the wipers, and I think that's pretty realistic. I mean, that's pretty cool. Boy, getting us a big electrical storm. I could really use a headlight right now. I don't know why, whenever you hook up to cars, why it automatically shuts off the lights like that, because it's on. I mean, that's the rear lights, and it shows it's on. But it isn't doing anything out here. I don't know if that's based on reality or if that's just a dynamic and function of the game or what. So foggy up there, we can't even see where we're heading here, so I don't think those cars are on the main. Looks like they are over there. It looks like they're just fouling the point to the track next to them, so I don't think they're all the way out. Which, yeah, nope, they're not all the way anyway, thank goodness. And it's still lightning. Think before I move out of here again, if we leave the harbor, I don't want to forget to go by the store. It's just right over here to our, what would be, I guess, our right. Kind of over here between these buildings. It's going to be a blue building. But I need to run to the store and get some little sticky pads so I can stick my clock watch or stopwatch back up on my windshield. I like to have my stopwatch out where I can see the time. Alright, let's start slowing down because I'm kind of taking this corner a little fast. This time we'll need to pass the point where we turned off to go into the loading track. We'll need to go to the next one. And then it will be immediately to our right once we get past that point. Clear of it here. Probably not getting real good braking action because of the wet rails. But we'll just leave this remote out so we don't have to get out and go running around and make changes to switches. Because the very next switch, we need to switch it back to the main line here. And as you can see, you can't really get it without hitting this other one, so we got to get past it. Because I just don't have the stability in my hands. Come on. Good grief. There we go. I cannot control the mouse. Like, I mean, I watch people do drawings and all kinds of stuff using their mouse, and I just think, wow, that is just so impressive. I mean, I can't even hold a mouse still long enough to highlight a switch to switch. But the next switch, I think we're going to need to, we're going to D. Yeah, the next switch will leave, and then the next one will have to go off to the right. So the first one, stay straight, and then the next one, go right. And that's if there's no car. And there is, so never mind. I keep forgetting we can't put our engines in first, because if we put the engines in, because we didn't back into here, we need to go to the other end and back in and put our cars behind these cars. We got to be careful, because if we had any kind of link on this train, we would run out of track. If you haven't seen this, this is where we're going. So we're going to pull off, go all the way down here, and as you can see, it's a dead end. So we'll have to, if we had 4 or 5 cars, I mean, we should still be okay, but anything more than that, I don't know if there'd be enough room there to clear this switch, to switch back into it and back into it. That's not an issue right now, so we're good. And it does look like there should be some room down here to... I'm just going to leave all the brakes applied on all these cars. I don't think that's... You know, that's probably not following true life realism and protocol, but... If I can push them, I'm just going to push them with their brakes still applied. I don't want to have a rollaway. Yeah, you can kind of see the end of the tracks way up there. And we got to get past this junction right here. But yep, right out there, all that right in front of us, that's nothing but water. And I know it's just a game, but it's so realistic and to me and all that it kind of gives me a little bit of a... Oh, look at that lightning. Kind of gives me a little bit of a chill to think that we're surrounded by water right here. We're almost like on a pier. Oh my goodness. If it wasn't for the fact there's mountains right there to our our current left, but if it wasn't for the fact there's mountains over there, so I don't think there's really going to be any kind of wind damage or wind storms. That would really freak me out. If there was ever that kind of stuff modeled in this game. I mean, Farming Simulator 25 has added tornadoes. So, I mean, there's crop destruction involved and all that, but it's almost kind of a Wizard of Oz type tornado, so it's not really scary. Just kind of a... there. I mean, it's not really horrific looking and all that. The clouds are, you know, the sky is clear and all that around it. All you got is basically the tornado funnel, and that's it. But man, if it was cloudy and overcast like this game, oh my goodness, if they modeled a tornado in here, that'd be that'd be terrifying. As tight as this is, I really want to get it past this sign, because I don't want to end up having to clipping the car with an engine or another car. So hopefully that didn't cause us to foul the other end, because this was pretty loaded, a pretty loaded track. Huh? Okay. Alright, and since we don't really know where we're going to go next, what the next job we're going to have is, I'm just going to leave everything turned off. I don't bother turning all these switches off, because turning this off does the exact same thing. You're killing the power to the engine, or to the switches. So I'll go ahead and shut this up. Just for the kicks and grins of it, I'm going to run all the way out here past this crane. There's a bit of a mountain over there, so but between us and that mountain, as you can see here, there is water. And I'm getting getting vertigo just being here in the game. Starting to get lightheaded just thinking about falling into all that water. Of course, it's probably not the best of things to be out here running around with the lightning like it was. So let's get back over here. Get in between some cars here and at least give us a little bit of cover. Oh, I forgot. Let's look at this. Oh yeah, we didn't push nothing out of the way, or into the way, so we're good. Because this is where we are on the other end of all these cars. There's the sign, D5S. Stay out of the way of that thing, it's moving. Oh, look at that, you can see the mountains again, so it's starting to clear up. But not out there. Yeah, see, I guess I could have just come around here because there's all these ships in the harbor. And then, of course, there's all that water, and there's the ship we were just... I guess that's where all the cars and stuff that we bring in here is... Oh! Where all the cars and stuff we're bringing in are probably getting loaded onto that ship. Alright, so here we are. And as I said before, we'll probably go ahead and look at the possibility of doing some licenses. Oh, what did we do wrong? Thought I did set the handbrake. Oh, did I do it on the G cars? I thought I did. Oh, on the cars we just now dropped off, I don't remember setting the brake. Oh my goodness, we got to do this walk off. Let's just jump. Use the jumping capability here because this is... I don't know why I can't jump further than what I do, but kind of look at the ground and you can kind of see where you're going to teleport to. But I did set the handbrake. No. Are these cars where they go? D5S, 931 and 636. Did I set the handbrakes on the cars over here in the G track? Alright, go down. Okay, this way. Well, I didn't set this one, and that would be the one I normally would, right behind the other cars I had on, so I guess that's the one I messed up on. Got so excited about getting all these cars stopped and forgot about the ones I dropped off. Good thing we had a... Whoop, we just jumped on the roof. Good thing we had a lot of time on that order. We were running against the clock. That would have probably ended up costing us the job. Or the time bonus, anyhow. But, yep, there we go. $32,000 for just unloading some cars and putting them on a track. So, let's go pay our fees. I don't think I'm going to do any more driving on this particular episode. So, let's clear this and let's put my wallet in there. Which we're over 100. Well, I want to take my wallet. Oh, I didn't click the order. I looked at it, but I didn't click on it to go ahead and pay it. So, alright, let's run over here. I mentioned having the shop over here and being able to purchase items. So for those who don't know, let's see, it's going to be over here. Here it is. You can go in here and look around, and there's duct tape. There's a briefcase that I had talked about before. I need to get one of those. So we'll go over here and get this little scanner tool. And I don't need any of these things yet. I'm not mounting any hard or brackets or anything like that, but we'll get a briefcase for $3,000. Quite expensive. I don't need any paint. I don't need end of train light. Oh, here we need this because that'll give us the key for Steve's garage, which will be a neat little treat once we pull off into that siding. Oiler for the steam engines. I don't. Oh, here we go. This is what I was looking at. Sticky tape. We'll go ahead and get about 5 of those because they're only $300. Don't know that I'll need all of them, but I'll just go ahead and stock up on them. But I don't need any more of these brackets. I want a nameplate, and I'll show you the why on that here in just a minute. I don't know if anybody else does it, but we already have a pocket watch, so we don't need that. I don't know if we have a lighter or not. Yes, we do right here. We don't need that, and we don't need a hammer. This will come in handy later, but I'm not gonna bother with getting it right now because we're already at 17,000. Let's set that down. We'll go ahead and stick our wallet in the machine, and let's see, we're still at 90,000, so we're okay money wise. All right, let's go tab. Oop. Come on, pick it up. All right, so all that just went into our inventory, and we'll run over here. Oh, what's this for? Oh, that's the one that I didn't throw that back away. I need to go throw it away. But okay, off to our right. Let's get out of our hand. And let's get that out of our hand. So we'll run back over here to the shop. Gotta watch these road crossings. We can't go through them. Even though they're not really effective. They're just static. But you can't walk through them. You gotta walk around them. And we'll go to the trash can first and find that thing and throw away. I mean, it'll just come out of our inventory once we quit the game anyhow, but get rid of it. Alright, now we can go into here. One of these shelves, I can just start placing all this stuff on the shelf. I'm going to set this one right here because I'm going to do something with it here. Bee Farmer in Bob's Shack. We'll hit OK. Pick it back up, and I'm going to set it up here. And if you'll recall, everything we put in these shows up in every single building we have. Oh. I forgot it did that. I should have done that in the first place. Get my fingers on the right keys. Okay, and what? Now come on. Alright, there it is. And now that'll be above every single entryway of every building that we go into now. It'll kind of a little bit of a personalization. So I'll hit 2 and put that there. Put that, whoops. Let's set this one down right here. Oh, we need to put this key. I'll just set it on the table right here by the briefcase. Do want to keep one of these in my pocket so that I can set it to use it in the engine for what I was talking about. Let's not use one. Let's just get rid of the rest of them here. Oh. Well. Making a bit of a pig's ear of everything here. I think that should be, oh, one more. Okay, that ought to empty everything out. Now we'll take this one that we still have here, and I'll do what I had talked about doing before. Oh yeah, it's blue skies now. Nice and clear, but you can see the ground is still wet and sloppy. Okay, so what I like to do is I'll usually take this and find a spot to place that, and then now let's go get the pocket watch. Put it up here. And there we go. A little bit too much of an angle. I don't know if I could move that to straighten it out a little bit more, but until we can get a digital clock, we'll have to run to buy a shop and find one. That ought to give us the time at least. So anyhow, we'll go ahead and stop at this point. Next time we come together, we'll look at jobs and see what we want to do, whether we want to get another license and start trying to get some progression going here, and maybe do a couple of these orders that we looked at earlier that were paying pretty good, but you had to have long or long 2 or something. But yeah, we got a table full of jobs here we can make some money on, but here it is. Yep, long 1. But $11,000 for that. Another 44,000. Well, we can't do that one. That's the wrong. I thought I was picking up another one. That one there. That's 22,000, and we just need the long 1 for that. So anyhow, we'll go ahead and stop right here, and I guess next time we come together, I guess what we'll work on is these 2 jobs here. So until we meet again, this is Virtual Farmer Ken Bob. Have a great day and stay safe out there.